Hello everyone, how are you doing? I thought I am prepared for autumn. I thought my garden is ready for autumn. I thought my mind and my soul are also ready for autumn. But I don't think so. I'm not sure I am ready. Anyway, I want to show you what are still blooming in my garden right now in mid-October. The zinnias are pretty done, although I can cut a few stems here. I think I'm gonna clean up this garden pretty soon. The dahlias are still blooming, but not as many as last week. And it's kind of reasonable because it's getting a little, chilly this week. I think at nighttime temperature is about like 40 degree or 50 degree, so they kind of stop producing. These amaranth are crazy. They're so big. And I share with you guys, I think a lot of times already, if you want your flowers to be so big and so tall like this, give them a lot of compost, water, and fertilizer. I know a lot of flowers, they don't need it, but if you give it to them, they will become like this tall, just like, my sunflowers, my zinnias. They are bigger than usual because, of the compost and fertilizer and water. I have been cutting a lot of these celosia already. They are my lifesaver this season. And, also I grow a lot of them too. And I grow a lot of special cut flowers variety from Florida too. So I make a lot of money from them already. I'm just so glad I grew them this year. You see, I cut it here last week or the other week, and it sent out the side shoots right here. Although the side branches have shorter stem, but they are just enough for my mason jar bouquet. I really love this Gaduk section. I have the fever field right there. And next to it, I have this Billy Ball and the status. And right there is Comfrina. So cute. On these two beds, I plant cool flowers and short-leaf perennials. I got a question from last week's video, Crane, why do you plant seedling this time of the year? And the answer is because these are short-lived perennial. That means they're going to grow just a little bit until it gets really cold, and next spring they will grow very fast because they have been established the roots, and then they will bloom beautifully in early summer. And right here is Sulfur Cosmos. They're just so cute. Oh my goodness. They're self-seeded every year on this spot, and I just love them so much. Jason's pond and his water plants are doing great too. And also his babies. Hello, cream cheese, how are you doing? Oh, cream cheese hungry. Your daddy is coming. Okay, it's okay. Hello. Our compost piles are very full because I have been cleaning a lot of garden bed. At the corner right there is mushroom compost that I bought it from local landscaping nursery. And here's my homemade compost. This is the finished homemade compost that I use for vegetables. I don't even know what this plant is, but I love it so much. I saw it grew in this garden and I was wondering like, what is it? It just kept growing and growing since spring, summer, and never bloom until now. If you know what this is, please let me know in the comment. Okay, thank you very much. My vegetable garden turns out that they are full with dahlias. Crazy. And these are the dahlia that are grown from seed. They show the center, the yellow pollen. They are not, as full as the dahlia that grown from tuber. And the bee love the pollen so much, which make it very difficult for me to cut the flowers. I think I'm gonna leave this one alone. And these are rainbow tomatoes. And to be honest with you, I grow this tomato because of the color. So pretty. 2 cucumbers. These are the calendula that I planted about 2 weeks ago. My plan is to have them bloom next spring. But seem like some of them are blooming right now, if the temperature continues to be warm. Some zinnias are still blooming. I planted the zinnias on this bed because I plan to save the seed for next year. However, the bird keeps coming to eat the seeds. Whatever seed that are ripened, the bird just ate it. So maybe this is why, flower seed are so expensive.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. You fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours. Dreaming of you. 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 What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars.
To save some money, I am going to transplant some perennial sunflowers that I already have in the other garden bed to my wildlife garden. The perennial sunflowers, just like other perennial flowers, they spread by rhizome. Come on. Then just tease them apart. Now I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants from one clump. And just bury the rhizome in the soil. That's all. My cottage garden looks pretty good, especially on this side because I have the sedum autumn joy and also the panicle hydrangea. It kind of, pick up each other. I also have some spirea and the peonies that provide the foliage and make this garden looks pretty in fall time. But on this side, I just did a big cleanup and it was overgrown with the Canada anemone. So I just ripped a lot of them out, trying to add some fall perennial flowers to this side to make it look more balanced. Our gnome garden is still under construction. It took us, 3 years to get to this point, so we are pretty proud of it, but still not finished. The first year we took the time to discuss about the plan and the design of this garden. Loosely speaking, we took the time to fight over ideas. Jason's ideas versus my idea. And finally, the second year we started take out the lawn, put the stone around it, put compost on it. And the third year, which is this year, I start planting some stuff on it. This is a very difficult spot because in springtime, it doesn't have sunlight, and in fall time, it doesn't have sunlight because the tree from this side of the garden kind of block the sunlight. But in the summer, when the sun is more straight, they get sunlight. So I don't know. But we continue to work on it. Right now we have the dahlias, which is booming beautifully. I'm gonna have to move some of them, because I might plant more perennial flowers right here. We have the celosia that are still blooming. And in the middle of the garden, I just rip off the zinnias and marigold because, I just wanna start cleaning this garden. It also took us about 4 years to do this wildflowers garden. The first year I just throw some plants in this garden and they look beautiful, they look like wildflowers, but still not what I wanted. I wanted to be like a low meadow, but it turned out the plants are too happy and they're too tall. So I rip out a lot of plants, I redo the whole thing. Jason just found this skeleton edging bricks from Facebook Marketplace. You're not gonna believe it, the whole thing. I mean, all this set of bricks, total is just $50. So if you wanna save money from gardening, from landscaping, just keep looking at Facebook Marketplace or maybe state sale, garage sale. There's a lot of people that they are, getting rid of stuff, and you will get a lot of gardening and landscaping stuff a lot cheaper. The rose garden is pretty happy this year because I dumped a lot of compost on them. They handle the black spot so much better this year. I'm not sure if it's the weather or it's the compost and fertilizer that I give to them, so they very, very strong. Some of them try to rebloom, but it's getting cold and they are not going to be as big as the blooms that bloom in spring. Our greenhouse was also under construction the whole summer because we have to make a little adjustment to the roof. Anyway, we have it back. It's perfectly fine, and Jason have been moving houseplant and some summer flower planters inside the greenhouse to just cheer up ourselves during this time of the year that other stuff start dying back, but we still have this beautiful summer flowers inside the greenhouse, and they can stay in this greenhouse for like maybe a month and a half. I just learned recently that a lot of cool flower seeds, they don't like to be propagated on a heat mat because they will germinate when the temperature is 50 or 60 degrees, like this stalk. Sweet William, Billy Ball, and I don't know what it is, but it's cool perennial flowers. Also, I saw the delphinium and the larkspur in the greenhouse too, because the greenhouse is colder than my basement. And Jason just moved this desert road to the greenhouse too because the temperature outside is getting cold. Our winter garden, I am pretty proud of it because I created this garden from scratch about 2 years ago. I want to block the production cut flowers garden in winter time with a row of evergreen. This blue spruce, this holly tree, this pine tree will block the mess in winter time in the production cut flowers garden. But in the front, I tuck in some flowers that it will cheer up this garden, and also I cut a few stems from these flowers to use in my bouquets as well. And what I'm pretty like this year is the celosia. It just gets so big. Oh my goodness, I cut a lot of them already. I dried some of them already, but they seem like a bush, and it provides such a good fall color to this garden. Accidentally, I didn't mean to plant this, I just could not find a spot to plant this celosia, so I stuck in this garden. My pool garden looks very, very beautiful from far away. Okay, so don't come closer because it's a mess. It's a total mess. But I am pretty comfortable with it, because I learned from Daniel from Not Lawn Flower Farm this year that we are going to be more efficient. We're going to have more peace in mind if we focus cleaning flower garden only one spot at a time. So I, focus on the cottage garden, clean it up, and then I move to the next spot before I just, go all over my garden, try to put weed in every single spot without plan. Doing this is, give me so much peace in my mind. So I'm comfortable to let this garden go wild a little bit, until I finish the other spot that I have to clean first. Anyway, I have some Montauk daisy that are blooming right now this time of the year. The hydrangeas, they finished blooming, but the foliage are so beautiful. Also the crepe myrtle, Speaking of cleaning a garden, I just cleaned up this 4-season garden this weekend. I just focus on this spot and it works. Thanks again, Daniel. So now it looks so much better. We have juniper, lavender, and this miniature blue spruce. On the back, we have the variegated boxwood. I really love this pop of dark pink in the middle of the garden from the Sedum Autumn Joy. And this garden is full of ground cover. Just make this garden look lush and full this time of the year. And I just cleaned up this side of the garden. I cut back the irises and the perennial sunflowers, and I moved them to the wildlife garden. And I have this yellow flowers. I don't even know what it is. We have this hyacinth bean vine. They are just so pretty. I'm gonna grow them again next year. Although they stopped blooming, but the beans add so much color to this garden. I am also pretty happy with my planters this year too. I spent some money on them because I wanna, cheer up some spots in my garden that I feel like it needs, a touch of flowers. And the two planters in front of me, it's just begonia, the landscape begonia that I buy in flat. It's very cheap. You don't have to spend a lot of money buy special variety of plants. If you give them enough water, compost, and fertilizer, they will be just as beautiful as the special variety. Parfum. Meow meow. Parfum. Hello. This sweet potato vine is special variety and I just bought it $2 in like late summer sale. I put in a pot, and it gives me such a nice fall color. Also this banana trees, it just $15. Unbelievable. Again, summer sale. That's how I save money from gardening. Because this spot have a lot of the invasive English ivy. These three planters, I use a lot of white, light color, foliage and flowers to brighten up this pathway. Aww. Finn start following Jason. This is such a good improvement. This planter is also 50% off. And I just use my free house plants to plant in this pot. Like this variegated pothos and this purple leaf, something I don't know the name. And also the polka dot begonia. They're so pretty and they love to be outside. They're blooming right now. And I got this big guy from late summer, 70% off discount. It's probably like $4 for this elephant ear. My front garden looks pretty messy too because I have not cleaned them yet. But I want to show you the plants that the deer don't touch them. I finally figured it out. It's like, winning a lottery for me because it's so difficult with all the deers that we have in our backyard. Our area. The first plant for sure that the deer don't eat it is this bilderberry. For years, I didn't know the name of this plant, but thanks to you guys. Also, the deer don't touch spirea at all. These have beautiful white flowers in spring. The deer also don't touch the native flowers, abelia. The deer don't touch the foxglove. I discussed about this before in the last video. They also don't touch the catmint, which is trying to rebloom this time of the year too. Look at that. Hello. And the deer eat hydrangeas. Look at that. It's their favorite flowers to eat. They don't touch this candy cotton, which has the red berries this time of the year through Christmas. The deer also don't touch dusty miller, the gray foliage plants right here. Also, they don't touch bearded irises, which will bloom and provide beautiful purple flowers in spring. 1 or 2 weeks ago, I just tucked in some foxglove in this spot too because the deer don't eat them and they're gonna bloom in spring. Scented geranium, they smell so good. I should have grown them more. The woodland garden is very woodland. I do almost nothing to this garden. I want to leave it messy for the wildlife, for the insect, the birds to hide and play around in this garden. The green forest right there is hellebore. They are going to bloom in winter time and spring, maybe up to late spring. Then I can cut them and make bouquets. It's time to plant these babies into their forever home right here. On this spot, they will get a lot of sunlight, at least 6 hours per day. The soil in this garden bed is pretty healthy, and on top of that, I am going to add a lot of compost and fertilizer to give them extra nutrient for them to grow and bloom beautifully next spring. Our babies are perfect and strong enough to be transplanted. When you try to touch them, they bounce back. That's the indication of their strength. To help the roots of our babies to grow very strongly and easily, you can dig the hole and lose the soil. Then add high quality compost, little bit of organic fertilizer, mix it together. If you don't have enough compost, you can just use the old potting mix like this. The mulch will help insulate the soil and it will help protect this baby in winter time. It will also help retain moisture in the soil as well, so we don't have to water this baby very often.
Don't wanna be a one-man woman. Got me stranded like a boat in the sand. Just the thought of not spreading my wings drives me crazy. Dressing up, fixing my strut. Always prepared, you never know who shows up around the corner. Maybe it's that director. Oh, I can sing, I can dance, I can learn the smooth moves. I would do anything you asked me to do. Jump out on the stage, get locked up in a cage, director.
These are the coolest cutting that I tried to propagate in water from last week. 2 stems turn black and rot. 3 stems grow roots. So cute. And I think this one not gonna make it, so I'm gonna just throw it away. Begonia take a little more time to grow roots, but I see some already here. If there are no rotten stems in the jar, the roots and the cutting will keep the water clean on themselves, and you don't have to change water. But I changed the water for this group because the water was rotten, and I want to make sure that the water clean, otherwise it will rot the other stem too. Some plants will grow root faster than the others. If you don't see the root yet, just be patient. I have failed trying to propagate plants from cutting so many times. I was about to give up so many times too. But I'm glad I didn't give up, and I learned this very important step of the process, which is I have to always find the most healthy stems that I will use for cutting propagation. The stem should be strong, should be green, and the leaf should be well hydrated before I cut it. If I cut a wimpy stem and wimpy leaf, they probably not gonna make it. If I have, very good luck, they could make it. So if you do the same, I can guarantee you that you will have about like 80 or 90% success. Okay. Anyway, I want to show you this dahlia too. This is the dahlia that I have left over from my stand last week. And I just learned that, they dry very beautifully in this vase. They're not fully dry yet, but they look cute already. Now I feel like I am more prepared for winter. And I just learned from gardening this week that I just have to take one day at a time. And sometimes just ask my husband to help. And sometimes just let things that we cannot control go, like go away. And I also learned that my problem is very little. There are people, in other part of the country, of the world, that facing more, serious natural challenges. I am just competing with the season, just trying to get things done.
Yeah, I think like the weather events of the last couple of weeks have kind of put things in perspective for us, right? I mean, you see the hurricane Helene and Milton and the devastation, what people are going through.
Yeah.
And it's affected us personally too, family members. So it kind of makes all our little problems in our household and the garden kind of pale in comparison, right?
Yeah.
So, our hearts go out to all the people that are affected by these last few weeks of hurricanes.
And some of those people, are some of you guys here too.
Yeah.
And, I am, if you are affected by the disaster, I want to let you know that I am thinking about you and hoping you're safe and hoping, very minimal damage. All right, guys. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.